Is the entry from Family Ties Angus with Red Family Ties Gold Mine 002F. That's entry 1844. Next up is our 2-year-old class, class number 34. Rob, I think you've got some super exciting results over in ring 1 with your pair of heifers.
We do, and Judge Tyson Hertz is just about to comment on them. We just want to reintroduce you to those class winners. That's entry 1227 from the first split, Prairie Cove Charlet, the Bullock family of Bashop. Entry 1214, McAvoy Charlet from the second split, and entry 1215, McLeod Livestock from our third split. Folks, to talk about it, here is Judge Tyson Hertz.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It again is a pleasure to be out here evaluating the Charlet show here at Farm Fair International. I spoke yesterday a little bit in the Simmental show about a lot of my good childhood memories being up here in Edmonton and exhibiting cattle with a lot of my friends and family and co-workers and customers. And I again just want to acknowledge Farm Fair International for putting on a truly world-class event, and again, humbling experience to be out here for the second time this week to evaluate the Charlet show. It's a really unique, I guess, a class that they put together here with the pair of heifer calves, and we'll get into a little more detail how I see each individual one as we get motoring through the day. But I try not to take too much time describing each and every one, but I think there was some really strong classes, pairs of females, right from our first class, which I think was probably the deepest in quality, right to the third, where there's a lot of good stock that I'm really excited to get to see and get to describe to you on an individual basis. You know, you'd have to live underneath a rock in this show cattle industry to not hear about the prize money and the prizes that the Alberta Charlet Association has put forth, and that goes back to the committee that's grinding out sponsorship. So I do want to tip my hat to them for putting on a really good event here, and I'm really excited to get going on this Charlet show. But I'll go select my champion pair of heifers, and then we'll get rolling into the show.
Many thanks to Judge Hertz. On the walk now to determine his first champion of our Charlet show, one of the great shows of Farm Fair International 2019, his champion pair of Charlet heifer calves. And it's going to be from that class that he talked about the depth, entry 1227, Prairie Cove Charlet. Entry 1227 is our champion. Tyler and Justine Bullock and family coming off a great night last night, and the greatness continues today with entry 1227 from Prairie Cove Charlet, our champion pair of Charlet heifer calves. We'll move right into our first split of junior heifer calves in our very next class.
So drunk at your apartment playing air guitar like we were Guns N' Roses. We were too damn good to forget about, so girl, I'm raising one up now to the moments I'm still holding. I hope a margarita puts you on the coast with me, a cold Corona takes you down to Mexico. And baby, when you take a sip of some strong whiskey, does it put you in that dive bar, stealing my heart? After all of this time, while I'm sipping, I miss you like crazy.
In our Charlet Show, we also want to thank DRI for their sponsorship of the Pair of Heifer Calves show. Adam Shireman and the principals of DRI. Many thanks to their sponsorship of our Farm for International Charlet Show, specifically that Pair of Heifer Calves.
And he's made his decision in our 2-year-old division, class number 34. We're going to have comments from Judge Cam Sparrow on our Red Angus 2-year-old bulls.
Anybody watching the show today around the ring, I think these three needed lots of luck. I didn't need that much time to judge this show, but when you bring up 3 2-year-old bulls like this, you got to be pretty wowed, pretty excited. 3 really nice 2-year-old bulls out in the ring here. We're going to use the bull that we believe is most complete, structure-wise, feet-wise. Just kind of comes to us just, you know, the type of muscle we look for today, type of shape. A guy that I think is soft enough for me. A guy that I really like the way he moves. When you get him this big and this good a condition and this much muscle, it's tough to keep these guys walking the way they should. And I think he does pretty well for as massive as he is. Down in second place, maybe a bull that gives up a little bit of the type, but really a typical good kind of Red Angus bull. See lots of these in the country, and lots of these kind of bulls have bred a lot of great cattle for the Red Angus breed. When you look at him standing there, you got to be kind of really excited about a bull like this. You know, he's got maybe he's not quite as complete in some ways as the bull that won this class, but I think a real nice individual in second in our class here. The bull we have in third is a bull I really struggle with. Power, top, muscle, shape, softness, just a real kind of good kind of bull. He's got a little problem today, and I'm not going to beat him up for it. Anybody that wants to find it, that's their business. That's the only reason he's standing in third hole, but a good, strong set. 3 amazing individuals here in this Red Angus senior division. Thanks, guys. You did a great job. Congratulations, exhibitors.
Thank you, Cam. So your senior champion Red Angus bull is the entry from Lazy MC Angus, the Morash family of Bazzano, with entry 1848. That's Red HRA Lookout 711E. And your reserve senior champion bull, entry 1845 from Wildman Livestock of Sangudo, with Red Wildman Carl 709E. And third in this tough class, entry 1849, Red DKF Racer 8E, exhibited by Shiloh Cattle Company of Craigmile, Alberta. Next up, we are going to have our champion drive here over in the Red Angus show. So our marshals, Suzanne Fancannel, Becky Page, and Brian Geis, we thank you for lining up our division winners. They're going to be in the ring in just a moment's time. From our spring division, we had a single entry in our division championship. That was entry 1826, Red Dwayjo Peterbilt 130G, exhibited by Dwayjo Angus. Our intermediate bull calf champion, exhibited by Aram Farms of Two Hills, with Red Aram Reload 22G. Our reserve intermediate champion Red Angus bull calf, entry 1827, that's Red Cinder Petey 229G from Cinder Angus of Barhead. Your senior bull calf champion, entry 1837, is Red Shiloh Gunner 23G from Shiloh Cattle Company of Craigmile. Your reserve senior intermediate, or rather reserve senior bull calf, entry 1836, Red Terron Uproar 216G from Terron Farms of Forestburg. Your single entry in the intermediate division championship was entry 1840, Red Wildman Gunny 832F from Wildman Livestock of Sangudo. Your senior division yearling championship title went to entry 3020, that was Red DSM Razor 814F from Dursta Farm of Innisfail. Your reserve champion senior yearling bull, entry 1844, that's Red Family Ties Gold Mine 002F from Family Ties Angus of Marwayne. And from our most recent class, our senior champion bull entry 1848, that's red HRA Lookout 711E, exhibited by Lazy MC Angus of Bazzano. Your reserve senior champion bull entry 1845, that's red Wildman Carl 709E, exhibited by Wildman Livestock of San Gudo. While our judge Cam Sparrow does some deliberation with his daughter Josie, let's head on over to ring number 1. I think we're ready to have some comments from Judge Tyson Hertz.
Well, a really nice way to start off the heifer calf division in our Charlet show, and it's actually the female that we used in the pair of heifer calves, and probably the one that I preferred of the pair. She's just kind of my type of female. She's really good from her shoulders forward. I love how elegant she is from her in her neck and in her jaw. A female that I think has enough rib shape and the softness of flank. If I do want to change this heifer a little bit, we do need to see just a nickel more heel underneath this female, but I really like how flexible and agile she is when you set her in motion. A really good kind of a female. I think a female that patterns really, really well behind our class winner here, and probably one that's a little leveler from shoulders to hip, but I think a female, again, when we analyze them at the ground, and structure is always a big thing for me, a female, we need to redesign this foot just a little bit with a little more heel and a little more roundness to the shape of that foot. She does get a little flatter as you analyze her at the ground, but a female, I love how smooth and balanced she is from the side profile. Just one that doesn't have that extra look and extra femininity from her shoulders forward. As we move down into the third place female, just a nice practical kind of heifer calf that doesn't blow you away in any way, shape, or form, but sound in the way she's designed. She's good in terms of the angle of her shoulder and her pastern. She's sappy through that center portion of her rib and flank. For me, just a little more common from her shoulders forward, being just a little plainer in her neck and her jaw. The female I really appreciate a lot of things about as a female we find in fourth, a female that's really round and heavy muscled if that's your type of female. For me, I think I draw issues from her hock to the ground. I just like to see her get out and motor a little bit square off of both ends, and from her ankles to the ground, we need to set her up a little squarer and truer. And then a young man's heifer that we round the class off with, a female that just comes to us a little greener in the way she's presented, a little rougher around the edges, but a female that I don't see any issue with from a structure standpoint. She flexes and reaches off of both ends, just runs out of power and substance to compete with the ones up at the top of this class.
Thank you very much, Judge Hertz. First place and advancing to our Junior Heifer Calf Championship, entry 1276, Miss Prairie Cove 945G from Prairie Cove Charlet, the Bullock Crew of Bashaw. In second place, also advancing McLeod Livestock, a Runkle McLeod family of Cochrane, Alberta, with CML Desiree 990G, entry 1260. If you're marking your show program on that first split of our Junior Heifer Calves in the Charlet show, entry 1277 is third, 1238 fourth, 1260 second, entry 1276 first, and entry 1244 fifth in class.
And over in ring number 2, Rob, we're ready to have some comments from Judge Cam Sparrow on this champion drive of Red Angus bulls. And what a lineup it is. Cam, over to you. Let's hear about it.
Well, congratulations, everybody. Red Angus Breeders has been an honor to come out and sort your cattle today. I've always loved sorting cattle, get out in the ring and find the cattle I like. I've honored myself in that I do find the cattle that I like. I use the cattle that I like, and I hope you can sit back. Maybe you don't like what I do, but you can see what I've done, and that's all you can ask from me, Josie and I, is that we've tried to stay with our type, our pattern. This hasn't been a big show today, but it's been all right because we've been able to stay with our type most of the time. I would say 90% of the time. So that's a kind of a pat on the back to the Red Angus breeders, that the good ones come to town, and they've all been good right from top to bottom in these classes. There isn't one where we look and say, boy, I wish this one wasn't here. They were all good today. Congratulations as exhibitors. Congratulations as the Angus breed. I think you got lots to tip your hat and walk ahead into the future. The cattle business is taking a little bit of a wrap in a few things right now, and I think good, strong breeders like we see, that I see lots of old faces and lots of new faces, we're going to be good, and we're going to make it, and we're going to show the world that there's nothing better than beef. and we're all gonna. Hopefully, we can all work.